Hey there, this is Molly, and welcome back to my YouTube channel as we take a look at the Aquarius Full Moon. This is the second Aquarius Full Moon in this lunar cycle, and it's occurring on August 22nd, 2021. That's at 8:02 a.m. That's Eastern Time, so please adjust for your location on the planet. Every full moon is when the moon is at its brightest. And here we find it at 29 degrees of Aquarius, 37 minutes, directly opposing the sun in Leo at 29 degrees, 37 minutes. And you'll see here that this is at the very end of the sun's journey through Leo. It will move into Virgo later on the same day, August 22nd. And the moon is going to move into Pisces just about an hour after this full moon is exact. So we have some very important energies here. The very first thing that comes alive to me is that this is an energy of graduation. The 29-degree point is a critical degree, an anaretic degree of completion. This is our second Aquarius full moon, and throughout the year, we've had a lot of Aquarius energies, as we have both Jupiter in Aquarius once more and Saturn in Aquarius until 2023. So what we're seeing here is that our emotional awareness is being brought to an area of your life that you have really come to know and understand from a higher perspective. This is a graduation point of energy where you have learned and seen something that you have probably really felt in a deep level of your own being. And that's because of how the moon is about our internal experience, what we're feeling, what we're perceiving and receiving. And in Aquarius, it's typically about future timelines. I feel like this is an energy shift into a future timeline because of what you've learned throughout 2021. And this conjunction here to Jupiter at 26 degrees of Aquarius retrograde is supporting your growth and advancement in the Aquarian energies in your life and in your chart. So we have significant growth that has been unfolding, opening up, revealing even more of your individual energy. And I feel like there's something here where perhaps you realized you need to keep going on your own path. You need to trust what's calling to you. Perhaps this is letting go of the people, tribes, friendships, acquaintances, the others who have composed your Aquarius relationships. And maybe you're seeing that we're on different growth trajectories, or there's something you have to do for yourself. And that doesn't mean it's necessarily a full and complete separation, but this is a strong energy of self-honoring based on what you know is true for you, where you can't give it away to anyone else. You can't hold yourself back for others. And that is one of the lessons of Aquarius, is that there are times when we travel alone. We have to follow our own unique path, what's calling to us, what sparks us up, what is true for you. And this is landing in the heart, which I feel is connected to this moon, but also the sun in Leo reconnects us to the courage to be ourselves. And we've been learning what that means, what that looks like, how to be in that energy despite external influences, which can be Aquarius, external energies, what's going on in the world, what's going on within humanity at large. This is a personal understanding that you've arrived at, and you're supported in the next steps. This conjunction to Jupiter is enforcing the growth. Jupiter is about what we're learning, what we're seeing from a higher perspective, what we know now that we didn't know before. And there's support here Now, Jupiter travels back to 22 degrees of Aquarius, where it stations direct on October 18th. Then Jupiter will go forward, and Jupiter will be here again at this 29 degrees of Aquarius, the end of December. So about December 28, 29, 30th, before Jupiter re-enters Pisces again. So I feel like this Jupiter in Aquarius, where it's been throughout this year, and it won't come back here for another 12 years. So you could look at this through various cycles of energy for yourself, whether that's a 12-year cycle, whether that's just simply what you've been learning throughout 2021. But this Aquarius full moon is setting you free. It's birds flying. It's being released. It's something opening up, perhaps even beyond your wildest dreams. And that's part of the influence here of Jupiter in Aquarius, supporting what you're ready to expand into as you fly forward, you fly off into the new direction or the new inspiration that is your calling. It's very inspirational energy here. But it's also been something that maybe you've been stuck in, where it's being back and forth in the mind. You know, we have strong Aquarius here. Moon, Jupiter, Saturn, and it's that going back and forth. And yet the sun in Leo is trusting your gut, trusting your sense of self, trusting your own courage to be who you are and that creative expression to be yourself in the world. So we have a transition here. We have a significant transition. Keep in mind that this full moon is also illuminating energies that you've been learning since the Leo new moon on August 8th that was at 16 degrees. And that's where the energy since August 8th has been building, developing, growing, and you're seeing something from a higher vantage point, which is Aquarius going higher, having a new vista. I also feel like there is it's like a harmonic resonance with your soul's energy. There's something about this connection to Jupiter that feels so buoyant and expansive. That's why I feel being set free, being released, understanding more, seeing the bigger picture. There's a lot of energy here that's helping us graduate and take flight. Now, the other energies here that are beautifully supported, we're going to go to the ruler of Aquarius, which is Uranus. And in traditional astrology, it's been Saturn. And I'm going to talk about both of those because they are known for being co-rulers of Aquarius, both Uranus and Saturn. But first, let's go here to Uranus, who's been rocking our world through most of the year, as that Uranus has been in a square with the other co-ruler of Aquarius, Saturn. And you can see that they're widening now. Now, they're both retrograde in this chart. Saturn is retrograde at 8 degrees 43 minutes, where it will move back to 7 degrees of Aquarius. And Uranus is retrograde, just stationed in August at 14 degrees, nearly 15 degrees of Taurus. Now, this energy has been asking us what we value, what our value systems are, what it means to live a good life. And oh, by the way, that's all changing as we're understanding more of what we want and what we need. Now, this Uranus in the earth sign of Taurus is making a beautiful harmonious trine to Mars and Mercury. Mercury's moving rather fast, so this trine happened a few days before the full moon, but this exact trine here to Mars is energizing. And Mars and Mercury are in Virgo, and they're about our daily matters, what we need to take care of, our errands, our routines, our health. There is something in our physical reality, since these are the earth signs, that are changing, but it's going to feel like there's energy and momentum to make these changes. There's going to be things shifting in your life in your physical world that you're ready for. And this is energizing. That Mars receiving a trine here from Uranus, especially in earth signs, it's energizing. It's time. You're ready to make the changes. Whatever you've realized, whatever has come to your awareness, there's decisions being made. And there's a sense here of new possibilities and new directions to go. So I feel this has a strong momentum to it. There's a lot that can be accomplished. This is a very productive time when we have these strong earth signs working together, giving the personal planets of Mars and Mercury some external energy. So you could feel that push. I'm ready to make changes. I'm ready to organize my house. I'm ready to get started on this new workout routine or what my body is telling me. Virgo is about the body expert, the healer, listening to the messages from your physical energy. Very energized at this full moon and also revealing more about how you want to live your life. So another message of change, another sense of I'm ready. It's time. I can do this. I can do this now. And then the other powerful energy here in this chart has to do with the other co-ruler of Aquarius, Saturn, as I mentioned, retrograde here in Aquarius, but making a beautiful grand trine in the air signs as the Saturn is trining Venus at 7 degrees of Libra, one of her home signs, and both are working with the North Node up here at 6 degrees of Gemini. So the grand trine energy really supports relationship development here. This is where there can be some clarity, strengthening, and reliability in the commitments, contracts, partnerships that you're saying yes to, and how it's helping you grow and go forward, to ask the right questions, gather the information, the specifics, and to have worthwhile conversations. There's a lot here with the grand trine and air signs about communication and how you're showing up to say what you need to say, understanding how it may be received. This is very objective information. If there's conversations you need to have, if there's something that's been on your mind, if there is even like you've needed time to figure it out, what do I say, how do I say it, this full moon is very supportive of productive conversations and important communications. It's also, again, strengthening the sign, the Aquarius air sign energy that brings a turning point to those relationships, to anything that's been on your mind. This is where you can feel like you're ready to say something, express it. There can be something solid happening with this air grand trine where it comes together. There's an effortlessness with the grand trine energy, but there's something you're learning. You're learning how to communicate more authentically and truthfully. You're learning how to communicate with respect for how it will be received, for what the other person might be thinking or perceiving in their own reality. There's a maturity here where it's taken time, which is Saturn returning to this 8-degree point where it was earlier this year. There's been a maturity in the mind, in words. This is an opening of the throat chakra. This is speaking a truth from a grounded, clear, mature place with love, appreciation, gratitude. I mean, that Venus in Libra, she wants people to feel okay. She wants it to be well received. She wants everyone to be happy. She looks for the win-win. And there have been lessons around this. Growth, we'll call it growth, because it could be that, especially with that Gemini energy, we often have to do things twice, where the first time, oh, it didn't land well. Oh, it was a rough draft. Oh, I could have done that better. Now is the time. I also feel like part of the maturity could be in I'm going to say humility or a sense of ownership, personal ownership, where you can address something from a place of, this has been on my mind. I know we kind of talked about it earlier. I don't feel like I was able to say everything I wanted to say. I didn't quite have the clarity in my words. Would you be willing to have another conversation about this? Would you be open to discussing this more? I've been thinking about it. I understand more of what matters to me, what I'm feeling, what I'm sensing, and I would love to share my thoughts with you. Would you be open to that? And the person here, this is a yes, because this Venus is open to the dialogue and the conversation. She's also open to listening, and she's a good diplomat and negotiator here. So if you need to negotiate something, this is a beautiful full moon to do so. If there's something you want to offer, if there's something important you want to discuss with an elder, this is a boss, manager, mentor, father, someone in charge with more experience. The energy is open here for having those worthwhile conversations where you're presenting what you think and what's been on your mind. You're looking for harmony, maybe resolution. And I feel like this full moon is the turning point, either for yourself and them, in a way that either sets you free or helps you move forward on the next part of your path. It feels like there's a lot of support here. And because this is in Aquarius, and as I mentioned, we've had strong Aquarius energy throughout this year, we're really getting to know more of our own deeper truth, authenticity, and what you have come to understand about yourself at this point in the journey, at this point in your life. I just feel a freedom here. I feel a freedom and opening, something showing you what you've been moving through. And now, again, there's a point of higher awareness. So I feel like this is truly a beautiful energy for progress, being productive, conversations, mending relationships, having those difficult conversations, doing anything that supports you in taking the risk to be more of yourself. And you could feel this energy growing before this full moon is exact. And that's because as soon as the sun moves into Virgo on the same day, we're going to feel more grounded. There's going to be stronger earth energy here that's going to give us a plan, because that earth energy is about the realistic parts of our life. And in Virgo, it's the hows. How do I do this? How do I take my next steps? What is the process? How can I be efficient? How can I improve this? So we're moving into a new understanding of ourselves, what we have to do that is about our authentic nature, where you can't hold yourself back for others. But it feels like this is beautifully supported here because the energies are supporting us in moving forward in a realistic, practical manner, having worthwhile conversations and maybe key conversations and communications. And then just knowing that I feel like this is not a new issue. I feel like it's something you've already been aware of, and it's been like tumbling around in the mind. And it's been a lot of mental energy. And now there is a setting yourself free. There is a moving forward here that is divine timing, that's very welcomed, and that can flow. Now, keep in mind the other significance with this Aquarius full moon is that now the lunar cycle is back on track, where we had the Leo new moon at 16 degrees on August 8th. Now it's followed by this Aquarius full moon, which is the natural progression of energies, is how the zodiac wheel works. Then as we move into September, we will have the Virgo new moon, followed by the Pisces full moon, and so on. I did a separate video for you on these lunar cycles when they're in reverse. The lunar cycle has been in reverse since June 2020. Please check out that video. I'll post it below. But know that now, this is why it's another turning point. It's a turning point to what hasn't been flowing or connecting. Now it's on track. Now there's progressive development. Now there's movement forward. So overall, a really beautiful Aquarius full moon where you're really going higher in your energy, higher in your trusting of yourself, and higher in your knowingness. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been beneficial to you and what you may be experiencing here through the month of August. Please check out the links below for more insights on that lunar cycle, as well as in the description box, you'll find more of the current astrology programs I'm teaching, including the solar return chart, where you learn how to read your solar return. And it's currently 50% off with coupon code BIRTHDAY. And it's basically 8 courses. I take you through how to read your chart. And I teach like this. I teach very visual because astrology is a visual language. So I'm going to teach you how to read your solar return chart. And the best part is you buy it once, come back and use it every year. Use it every year going forward so you can learn more about what your astrology energy is on your birthday and for the year ahead. So please check that out. It is more intermediate level astrology, meaning you need to know the basics of a chart already, and then I guide you through how to apply it. So as always, thank you for joining me. I'll be back here for another teaching video very soon. And I'm also here every Monday and Wednesday for my podcast episodes. Have a beautiful Aquarius full moon. There is change, there's turning point, and congratulations on your own experience of a graduation. I'll see you back here soon.